Welcome to Wonder Earth Stories.
Long before the first stone was laid, or the first shadow of a wing crossed the sun, the world was nothing but a vast, unbroken expanse of blue. The ocean stretched toward every horizon, a mirror reflecting the infinite sky. It was a silent, heavy world, governed only by the slow, rhythmic pull of the tides. Above the surface, Lumi drifted. She moved without effort, her presence barely disturbing the air, her focus fixed entirely on the dark, crushing depths below. She was the listener. She waited for the sound that the rest of the world could not hear. Deep in the mantle, miles beneath the ocean floor, the planet was restless. Hot, molten rock shifted against the crust, a slow-motion grinding of tectonic plates that sent tremors through the abyss. Lumi felt the vibration in her core, a low-frequency hum. The sea remained calm, the surface glass smooth and undisturbed, but the pressure was mounting. Every ripple on the water seemed to hold its breath. The planet was preparing to exhale, and the silence above was merely the final moment of peace. Lumi closed her eyes, tracking the heat. The silence shattered. A deep, resonant boom erupted from the abyss, vibrating through the water with enough force to send shockwaves to the surface. The ocean floor split open. Instantly, the water turned into a boiling, churning cauldron of white steam and dark sediment. Orange lava surged upward, a molten spear piercing the blue, meeting the cold sea with a violent, deafening hiss. The water turned opaque, choked by ash and rising heat. Beneath the surface, the molten rock piled up, layer upon layer, fighting against the crushing weight of the sea. As the lava touched the salt water, it hardened instantly, turning from liquid fire into jagged black stone. The eruption did not stop. It pushed harder, building a foundation of basalt that climbed toward the light. The surface of the ocean began to bulge, pushed upward by the rising mass. Steam clouds billowed into the sky, blocking out the sun. Then, the first peak broke the waves. It was raw, sharp, and steaming, a jagged monument of rock rising from the deep. The ocean retreated, swirling around the new land as the lava continued to pour, cooling into solid, dark cliffs. The world had changed. Where there was once only water, there was now a sleeping dragon of earth. The fires died down, leaving behind a scarred, desolate expanse of cooling basalt. The land stood silent, a jagged skeleton waiting for the next phase of creation. Then, the sky opened. Rain fell in relentless sheets, pooling in the fissures of the black rock, finding paths through the stone. It worked for centuries, carving deep, winding valleys where the water rushed toward the sea. The climate shifted. High above, the air turned frigid, and glaciers formed in the mountain shadows. These rivers of ice began their slow, grinding descent, scraping the rock with immense pressure. They sheared away the rough edges, carving the mountains into sharp, towering peaks that pierced the clouds. As the ice retreated, it left behind fertile soil and pristine, clear lakes. Nature moved in to claim the territory. Seeds caught in the wind took root in the damp, mineral-rich earth. Moss crept over the cliffs, followed by ferns that uncurled in the mist. Forests of deep emerald green blanketed the hills. A lush, breathing sanctuary, meticulously sculpted by the patient, relentless hands of rain, ice, and time. The islands drifted in the vast blue, cut off from the rest of the world by thousands of miles of ocean. This isolation acted as a wall, keeping the land pristine and untouched. On these shores, the rules of survival changed. Without the threat of predators, the urgency to escape into the sky vanished. Life took a different path. Birds that once relied on flight to flee from danger found themselves in a paradise where they could walk, forage, and nest in safety. The energy once spent on massive wings was diverted elsewhere. Over generations, bodies grew sturdier, beaks became specialized for probing the soft, damp earth, and feathers thickened to protect against the mountain mist. The Kiwi emerged as the master of this new reality. It moved through the undergrowth with a quiet, deliberate pace, its legs strong and its senses tuned to the vibrations of the forest floor. It had no need to soar. The ground provided everything: insects, fallen fruit, and a secure home beneath the ferns. Kiko stood at the edge of the cliff, his head tilted toward the sky. High above, a flock of gulls caught the thermal currents, banking and diving with effortless grace. He spread his own small, vestigial wings, felt the wind catch them, and then felt them fail to lift his weight. He looked down at his sturdy, clawed feet, then back at the horizon. Why was he bound to the soil, while the others claimed the clouds? A giant turtle slowly rose from the calm ocean. Ancient turtle crawled ashore, scarred shell, eyes fixed on bird. Sky's edge seen, but wrong way, toward the dense emerald forest behind them. This island is your fortress. It is a magical cradle that has kept your kind safe for millions of years. Kiko, earthbound, watched the sea's vast expanse. Centuries passed in the quiet rhythm of the forest until the horizon finally broke. A line of double-hulled canoes emerged from the mist, cutting through the swells with rhythmic precision. The voyagers stood at the prow, their eyes fixed not on the sun, but on the shifting patterns of the stars. They were pathfinders, reading the language of the ocean to find the hidden cradle. As the landmass rose to meet them, the tension of the long voyage vanished, replaced by a sudden, sharp clarity. They steered into the bays, the sound of the surf greeting them like a long-awaited voice. When their feet touched the black sand, the connection was instantaneous. They did not see the mountains as mere rock. They saw ancestors standing tall. They did not see the forests as simple wood. They saw sacred halls. They knelt, pressing their palms into the soil, feeling the pulse of the earth. In that moment, a new harmony began. Time accelerated, weaving steel and glass into the fabric of the islands. Auckland rose from the harbor, a cluster of towers reflecting the morning light, while Wellington clung to the hillsides, its streets humming with the pulse of modern life. Yet, the foundations of these cities were never truly still. Beneath the pavement of Auckland, volcanic vents remained restless, exhaling heat into the deep crust. In the south, the landscape refused to be tamed by human ambition. Massive glaciers continued their slow, relentless march, grinding against the bedrock with a force that echoed through the valleys. The sound was a low-frequency vibration, a reminder that the land was not a static stage, but a living participant in the story. People walked through the city squares, unaware that the ground beneath their feet was shifting, cooling, and rising in cycles that ignored the human clock. The wild heart of the continent did not retreat. It simply waited, watching the cities rise and fall, anchored by the ancient, grinding power of ice and fire. Aria stood on the ridge as the sun began its final descent, bleeding gold and violet across the horizon. The air grew thin and sharp, carrying the salt spray of the ocean from miles away. Below, the water churned. A massive shape broke the surface, a whale breaching in a spray of white foam, its heavy body crashing back into the blue. Aria felt it before she heard it. A deep, rhythmic thrumming rose through the soles of her boots, vibrating up her spine. She pressed her palms against the cool grass, feeling the earth breathe. The ground beneath her was not solid, but a living, shifting entity. She watched the light fade, the shadows stretching long and dark across the valleys, and realized the silence here was heavy with history. Every tremor was a memory of fire. Every peak was a testament to the grinding weight of ice. She stood perfectly still, letting the vibrations settle into her bones. The horizon seemed to expand, revealing the hidden continent beneath the waves, and for a heartbeat, the boundary between the observer and the earth simply dissolved. Aria turned, her gaze meeting the small, steady eyes of Kiko. The wind had died down, leaving the hillside in a profound, expectant silence. "Why is this place so different?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper against the vastness of the darkening sky. Kiko did not look at the cities or the distant, glowing caves. He looked toward the horizon, where the hidden continent of Zealandia still rested beneath the restless waves. "Because here," he replied, his voice carrying the weight of ancient memory, "the earth still speaks, and people still listen." Aria looked down at the ground, feeling the last of the day's warmth radiating from the soil. She understood then that the land was not merely a backdrop for human history, but a participant in a much older, deeper story. The mountains remained as silent witnesses. The glaciers continued their patient work, and the volcanoes held their fire in reserve. It was a cycle of creation that never truly ended. As the first stars began to pierce the violet canopy above, the entire landscape seemed to exhale. From the highest, snow-dusted peak to the deepest hidden cavern, the island stood as a testament to the raw power of fire, ice, and time. It was a living, breathing wonder, a sanctuary that invited the world to look closer, to tread lighter, and to remember the magic that pulsed beneath every step. The earth was not silent. It was waiting for those who knew how to hear the rhythm of the world.
Thank you for exploring the world with me. I'll see you in the next story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wonder Earth Stories.